Hey guys, it's Appleminte. Welcome back again to my channel. And as it stands, it is still spooky month. So in the spirit of it, I wanted to do something related to witches, which is one of my favorite things to draw during this time of year. And originally I was going to do an Inktober video for this week, but I'm thinking not, just because I started thinking about creating Disney characters as witches and I just couldn't stop thinking about that, and I wanted there to be color, so that's what we're doing today. But before we get into the video, I'd like to take a second to thank today's video sponsor. I'd like to say a thank you to Disney Emoji Blitz for sponsoring today's video. You can go ahead and download the game for free using the link below on your mobile device or tablet. And I am also hosting my own sweepstakes where I will be giving away a $50 gift card to my online store, plus free shipping to one random person, so stay tuned to the end to find out how to win. Disney Emoji Blitz is a match 3 game unlike any other. Each emoji has its own unique power-up, and you control which to use, which offers a strong layer of strategy to each game you play. My favorite emoji personally is Sora, since I was a huge Kingdom Hearts fan growing up, so seeing him in this game definitely brings me back to my childhood. The game is a huge collection of Disney, Pixar, and Star Wars characters, with new ones added every week or month. And there are many emojis with different categories as well, such as silver, gold, and rainbow exclusive, as well as story and villain ones. As an additional fun feature, you can send the emojis you earn in-game straight to your friends. As for the sweepstakes that I'm hosting, I'll be giving away a $50 gift card to my store, as I said, plus free shipping to one random person who downloads the game using my link, screenshots themselves hitting level 10, and posting it on Twitter or Instagram tagging me. The winner will be chosen on Saturday, November 19th. Also, if we hit 200 downloads, I will throw in an extra $10, making it a $60 gift card in total for somebody. So as I said, you can download the game using my link below, and it acts as a creator code as well, so anything that you spend in game will directly help to support me. So another huge thank you to Disney Emoji Blitz for sponsoring today's video, and good luck guys on the sweepstakes. So let it be known that I've always had a soft spot for Disney things in general, and I figured that if I was going to be doing witches today, I would be turning characters that are already pretty well known into them, because why not? I think that's fun. And also it kind of works well with today's video sponsor, so I thought it would work out as a whole for theming. But anyway, the first witch that I am doing is Snow White. And I mean, obviously there's like a lot of Disney princesses to choose from, and I wasn't sure who I wanted to go with at first, just because like I said, there's a ton of them, and I could do a lot with all of them. But I chose Snow White just because I like her color palette, and I thought she could be fun to make into kind of like a cutesy kind of witch. So I try to pull as many elements from the original design as I can without, exactly recreating the original outfit, but, changing it to what I think she would look like if she was dressed up as a witch. So as you can see, she's got a little cowl there, the big, thing around her neck. For that, I added a little cape because I thought that would be a cute little touch. And then I went ahead and I kept her sleeves and the top part of her dress, but I added some extra to the sleeves, made them a little longer, gave her some gloves, and then I shortened her skirt and gave her a belt. So I tried to stick within, the original color palette and just kind of play around with the colors all over without introducing anything really new, because I think that wouldn't really make sense to do. And I also wanted to pull the design of the little bow that is normally in her hair, the red hair bow, but instead of putting it there because she's wearing a witch's hat, I put it on top of the hat, and then I added it to the boots as well. So for her design, I wanted her to be pretty cutesy. And as you guys know, in the spirit of these types of videos where I'm drawing multiple things, I try to make both drawings different enough. So whether that means the color palette or the emotion or the pose, whatever it might be, I do try to make them different. So as you can guess, the next one is not going to be cutesy per se, but it's going to have a different vibe. Anyway, I also wanted to add a broom, and I made hers pretty basic because I figure Okay, don't quote me on this. Maybe I'm like making this completely up, but I thought there was a scene in Snow White where she's sweeping with the dwarves and she's got just like a regular broom. Oh my God, I don't know. That probably sounds really dumb. I might be completely wrong on that. In my own headcanon, she's got a regular broom. So I made hers pretty basic just because she had a lot going on already, and I was like, all right, I think this is fine. I wanted her to have something, and then I added like a little star charm to her hat, but this one was a lot of fun. I say that a lot, but I mean, I enjoy turning things into other things, and this is no exception. So now I'm just going in and I'm doing some shading in different areas. And of course, the last thing to do after I finish the shading will be to add the lighting effects and things like that just to brighten the piece up as a whole. But I remember I have very fond memories of Snow White as a whole because when I was a little kid, like 5 years old, that used to be the movie I would always watch when I would go to my grandparents' house. And I don't know if I don't remember now if they just didn't have any other movies or if that was just my favorite. So I just know I used to watch Snow White a lot as a kid. And I feel like I haven't seen a lot of these classic Disney movies in quite a while. But I do have a Disney Plus subscription, so I could probably go back and have a nostalgia party for myself. But anyway, yeah, so Snow White kind of holds a little bit of a soft spot. And if I want to say that Snow White is actually the oldest Disney princess, or one of the oldest. I think her movie came out in like the 30s or the 40s, if I'm not making that completely up. But yeah, Snow White's pretty old of a character in the Disneyverse, at least. I know that a lot of Disney movies are based on fairy tales that already existed, but I'm talking specifically about the movies here for all intents and purposes. Anyway, that is my design for Snow White. I've just gone in and added some finishing touches. So I hope you like Snow White as a witch, and now on to the next one. So for this next one, I went ahead and I did a separate design for the outfit because I wasn't sure at first exactly how I wanted to go about it. Snow White for me was a little simpler to do, to translate into what I wanted. So I just went ahead and sketched her outfit straight on the piece, which I don't usually do. I usually do make the outfit separately just so I can plan it a little easier without worrying about a pose. But for this one, since her pose was a little different, or was going to be a little different, I should say. You didn't see that yet. But since her pose is going to be a little different, I wanted to sketch it out. And so as you can see, for this one, I have chosen to do Belle. And I know there were a lot I could have chosen from. I wasn't sure who I wanted to go with, whether I wanted to do a different vibe or a different color palette. Ultimately, I picked a different vibe. And I also just really liked Belle's, she's got a lot of not ruffles, what is the word for what she has in her dress? Like that specific design of her dress is very nice. And I had an idea in my head to make it kind of split down the middle and like ruffle down the sides. I wanted her to be a little bit more like boho witch, like modern style witch, rather than the traditional like witch hat, and like I did with Snow White, if that's translating here. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this a bit different in this other sense, and hopefully she looks okay. But I'm happy with the choice to do that. I think it's cute, and I think it suits her overall, because Belle was always a little bit of a different kind of character. But then again, I guess you could say that about a lot of the Disney princesses. They try to do their own thing. Anyway, for her broom, I tried to make it a little bit different as well. I didn't want it to look just like Snow White's plain one, so I added some rose vines going up the side with some leaves and a rose right at the bottom of the broomstick. So just to kind of like pull from the fact that Belle does have a rose in a lot of her designs, in a lot of her, I guess, pictures of her, because of the rose within the story. If you've seen the movie, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I wanted to pull that in here without making it, too obvious, because I didn't want green in her design of her outfit. I didn't think that would fit. And but I wanted to include it somewhere on here. For her sleeves, particularly, I wanted them to kind of be like a mesh not mesh, but like a see-through kind of really thin fabric material. So I wanted you to be able to see through to her arms. So when I'm coloring that, you'll be able to see it a little better what I mean by that. But I wanted it to kind of seem like it was a different material from the rest of the dress. She didn't just have, you know, one thick yellow material all over. I wanted to give different texture to this. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. In my head, I see what I'm talking about, but sometimes I ramble and I don't know if I'm making any sense. But, and for her hair, I think Belle usually has like a little, maybe not a bun on the back of her head. She's got something, like her hair is pulled up in the back. For that, obviously she's wearing a hat here, so I did away with the top part of her hair that's usually pulled up, and I just made it so her hair is pulled back, kind of half up, half down. And I gave her really big glasses as well, tinted frames. I thought that would be really cute. I love designs of characters and they have big rounded frames. It's a weakness of mine, honestly, so I wanted to include that here, but I thought tinting them would kind of help with the boho look I was going for here. But so here I am going in and just adding some different line art colors and all that in there. And I had a lot of fun. Like once you get to the point where you're starting to do the shading and you're starting to really just add some life into the piece, it feels a lot better. Like I like to call it the ugly stage of a drawing, when you're kind of stuck in the limbo of like, you've done the line art and you've started to put in the flat color, but nothing's got definition and nothing's just got like any warmth to it. And sometimes I get discouraged in that, you know, part of a drawing where I'm like, ugh, am I gonna make this look better? But once you start shading, it starts to feel very good. And so that's where I was with this. You start to see it come together. But yeah, so for her sleeves, I end up going in and lightening the color and then adding a multiply layer of just to kind of show that she's got, you know, her arms. You can see through it, if that's making sense. But yeah, going in, adding some lighting, and overall, I really like the way that this one came out. I really like her outfit design. So I hope you do too. I hope you liked the idea for this video. And as I mentioned earlier, I have a sweepstakes going on. If you want to enter to win a gift card to my store, do download the link in my description below for Disney Emoji Blitz. They've kindly sponsored today's video, and they help put food on the table for Pepper, me and Ryan, so definitely show them the support for that by checking them out in the description below. So thank you guys so much as always for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. I hope you had fun, and if you want to see more like this, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you guys all next time, Fridays 4 p.m. Eastern time as always, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye bye.